Play mo lang yung song if ever. '25, 2020, and actually I wanted to share something that you could learn, like how to trade with confidence via The Last Dance. So for those who don't know, The Last Dance is a 10-part documentary series of the Chicago Bulls winning 6 championships in 8 years. And to me, I wanted to share this game-winning shot. If you can remember, Steve Kerr relived his 1997 legendary NBA's finals winning shot. You can recall that Michael Jordan knew that they were going to double team him in the last probably 5-6 seconds of the game. Or I think it was less than 10 seconds of the game. So Michael Jordan knew that he was going to be double teamed. So he told Steve Kerr, be ready, be ready. And Steve Kerr said that, I'll be ready, I'll be ready. What do I think about this? I think about it that scared money never wins. Scared players never make the shot. Steve Kerr was open. He took the game-winning shot. He was confident because he practiced. He executed, swoosh. And to me, if you're going to be so afraid of risk, you're going to miss out on all the opportunities in front of you. At some point, you have to determine it yourself. I need to explain this more concretely. When you're trading, I was telling Anton that, we approach our trades as a shot. I mean, you've probably seen Nike commercials wherein Michael Jordan would have this Nike commercial and say that he'd make 9,000 shots. He'd probably miss 1,000 shots or 2,000 shots. Sorry, for those who know the stats, I don't know the exact stats. I'll search about it. But the point that I'm making here is Michael Jordan trusted the process. They practiced with Steve Kerr that game. Not just with Steve Kerr, but with Scottie Pippen, with Horace Grant. He trusted the team. He trusted everyone, meaning he trusted the process. In trading, one shot doesn't win the game. It's a series of shots. It's a series of maybe a combination of, maybe you'll see the field goal percentage. In a single game, Steve Kerr would probably have, let's assume it's 20 shots, and he'll probably make 15 or 10 out of 20. So 50% field goal ratio. So it's kind of like you trading. I was telling actually Anton the winners that we've done in even just the last month. It's all about having the process that we're gonna take this trade because the risk is this and the reward is this. In basketball, one shot is 2 points, 3-point shot is 3 points. But in the market, we took trades like Charlotte Webb gave us 48% in just a week. I didn't take the trade of Aurora Cannabis. If I did, the next day it was up about 100%. We took some trades, big trades on Baidu. For the earnings, we got the 20% on Baidu. We got a 50% move on Datadog after earnings from 50 to 60, 70. C Limited, SE, it was about 40%, depending on whether you entered early before earnings. Like some of the ones in the class got in at about 45, 55, 60. Today, it closed at about 77. Amidst all the noise, everyone's saying, the market is toppish, a lot of headlines. When you're trading with confidence has nothing to do with Steve Kerr being scared. Now, if you look at this, Steve Kerr remembered that 1997 NBA Finals winning shot. If he didn't take the shot, Chicago Bulls would not have won. Think about that. Now, we're not saying that you should take risk, but what we're saying is you should take many shots. So every basketball player has about maybe 20 shots. So in trading, you have to think of your 100,000 pesos or maybe it's 1,000,000 pesos. Think about it as I want to make 20 shots. I want to risk this much and I would have this reward. I mean, we have. I've been thinking a lot about like the Last Dance, how you could see it, how you could see it manifest in your portfolio. If you remember in that 1998, Michael Jordan was playing Ray Allen, and if you remember, they won a lot. I mean, of course, 6 championships in 8 years. Do you remember the time that I actually asked this? Scottie Pippen felt disrespected by Jerry Krause, their general manager, for thinking about trading him, not paying him right, being underappreciated. He said he's never going to work for the Bulls ever again. I wonder if I trade a stock that performs so well if the stock could berate me back. I mean, you could sometimes see, I can understand that, how I think about this is sometimes there are stocks that are underappreciated for quite a long time. You feel that this stock is like a Scottie Pippen stock. In fact, we were even doing some calls like, what is the Scottie Pippen stock that did so well on its earnings front, but still feels disrespected? I would say that some Chinese names feel that way. Baidu is really had a great earnings report, but because of Senate bill inquiry now, accounting standards, threatening of the listing in the NASDAQ, not paying him right, underappreciated for maybe about, I'd say that their AI company is not being appreciated for quite a while. Now, I also think that you have to think about these things. When you think about Michael Jordan, he is the greatest of all time. Now, to take a look in your portfolio, who is the GOAT in your portfolio? If you were Jerry Krause, if you were a general portfolio manager and your players were the stock, if only that stock could talk, will you sell your Michael Jordan? Do you think Michael Jordan will hate you and berate you for even thinking about trading him? If that stock was Scottie Pippen, he was doing all his best, giving you championships after championships, and you want to rebuild? You want to rebuild a portfolio that's doing so well? Think about it. When I think about it, the GOATs in portfolios are Tencent, Shopify, Nvidia. I mean, Amazon, right? From $1 to $2,500 for the past 23 years. Think about it that way. Like Shopify went from 18 to about $800, 40 times your money, more than 40 times her money in just 5 years and still growing. The point here is in that stock, Michael Jordan never knew how much the market would price him, but he was great. He was excellent at what he did, and the market saw it. Actually, like just this week, I saw that Michael Jordan's very first shoe got sold for a record $560,000 at an auction house in Sotheby's. I mean, you could see that somebody is really selling near the height of the Michael Jordan fandom because it's a trade for them. I think this was the first shoe, which is 1990s, the very first, or 1985, something like that. It was the very first shoe that Michael Jordan wore, and it was autographed. At some point, when you have to think about it as trades, there are trades that are doing so well right now because everyone is hyped up with Michael Jordan. So there's nothing wrong with Jordans being sold at a premium. Is it correct that the seller is selling near the height of the Michael Jordan fandom? But is that fandom going to be just on the Air Jordan shoe single, or is it a franchise? You learn so much from Michael Jordan. I wanted to share, Michael Jordan had a lot of painful moments as well. There were times where he was underappreciated. That says a lot for all the traders. Rock bottom crisis motivate change. Earlier maybe last month, I'm not sure if you've heard, but there was a Chinese fraud, and we were unfortunately hit because we like Luckin Coffee. Luckin Coffee had 4,500 stores in China. They were supposedly the anti-Starbucks. We've seen the milk tea. I personally went to China. I was in Was it Xiamen? No, I was in Guangzhou. I was in Guangzhou last year to talk about some, I was there for a talk. So I actually tasted lock-in coffee myself, saw the stores myself. But this year, there was that $310 million accounting scandal. That stock fell like about 80% that day, or 75%. And so I said, in case you're one of the unlucky in lock-in who got destroyed 75% in a single day last April, remember that, I had a position. I even sold everything. Actually that time, if you could see my account, this was March, I was even lower, April. So, every stocks that I had was already rallying, but because I had lock-in, it really sent me down. It took me a while. It took me about a month from April to May to recover it all. So while a lot of stocks are already at all-time highs, my portfolio is just almost V-shaped, almost just break even to my previous high. But the point here is that I didn't allow that lock-in position to control my future. You will never be stopped by losing a game. You could see that Michael Jordan didn't win initially. He used he used every loss to motivate him. So it actually means that you, as a trader or as an investor, stop being angry with yourself. I was angry with myself. I was thinking, my God, I could have gotten so many other cheap names. I like Shopify. I also had Shopify, but why did I was thinking to myself, I had the choice to buy cheap Starbucks. I had the choice to buy cheap McDonald's. Why in the hell did I buy lock-in coffee? I was really angry with myself. That was real money lost. And like my parents were telling me, of all the names, why do you have lock-in? Being sermoned like that. But I never let that stop me. That hole that I was into, I crawled out of it. The key to wealth creation is holding winners. It is hard for investors that look for 52-week lows to hold for 52-week highs. Winners make 52-week highs, trim them back, but don't sell out. Give the business and stock the chance to exceed your expectations. To do that, you need to own them. We went from about a bear market in March to almost a bull market. We actually explained, even before it went all-time highs, we talked about the Don Z era. Even before Amazon was going all-time highs or Netflix was going all-time highs, we were buying not necessarily at 52-week lows, but yeah, some of them are actually at 52-week lows, but they were already rallying. You'll see our March 20, March 27 reports on those, buying opportunities. Some of our buying opportunities, we got about 100% wins. Sientra, Scientific Games was about 400% win, identified from the low. When you look at the CEOs, think about them as players. You could buy Microsoft, you could buy Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Salesforce, Nvidia. You could buy, you want to look for people, management that resonates with you for your portfolio. You have to think of yourself a little bit like a general manager. And that's really how I think about how to think about The Last Dance, how I think, reflect about it for my portfolio. For instance, in a game, there will be bench players. You know that there are players with an off game. Like, that Disney, theme parks, airlines, Expedia, they are right now bench warmers. So I was saying, if you are the cause of the decline, meaning if you are the reason for the team to lose, you will not be the star player. You will not bottom out when the market bottom, because you are the reason why the world is crumbling. In The Last Dance speak, if you are the weakest link in the team, let's say you're 5 players, but you're the weakest, that team won't win. You have to have 5 winners. So you need to know that when you're looking for the market, there are times that there are names. Even Michael Jordan could have an off night. There are, you could think that Disney is one of the best stocks, but you have to think that sometimes they could have their flu game. But there's really a lot of things that I learned from The Last Dance. This is an article I read from a Craft Ventures, Be Like Mike, what founders can learn from the last dance. I'll read it for you. Choose equity on yourself over the security of an established brand. So Jordan's manager, David Falk, what you could see in Jordan is that he had an inner circle. He had a lot of mentors who knew what they were doing, and they protected Jordan. They protected Jordan instead of signing a Nike deal, they said, Jordan, get your own shoe line rather than a simple endorsement deal. Do you know that Jordan makes so much money in Nike shoes? Nike sold about $3 billion in revenues just this year on Air Jordans. And it was so much that Jordan's net worth today is about $1.9 billion. He was one of the best players to think that, why am I going to have an endorsement deal, a one-time payment, when I can have an endorsement line of my own shoe line, revenues on Air Jordans to me, year in, year out, to the point that Jordan was able to buy a team. He bought Charlotte Hornets. So he can buy an entire basketball team. And a basketball team, managing a basketball team, all the players, everything from a player to a coach. Sorry, I'm not sure if Michael Jordan was a coach, but from a player to a coach, to a player to a franchise of NBA teams, and of course a global icon. Jordan was in his own category to the point that all other players really wanted to be like him. To the point that every other star player knew how to deal with Nike, or in the case of, if you remember, Stephen Curry made the same great deal with Under Armour. You remember the Curry shoes line? So the point is, Air Jordan reinvented the sneaker market and made Nike the market leader. That's true, because at that point in time, who was Nike? But Jordan was something that everybody wanted to have. So better to choose equity upside in yourself when you have the opportunity. When you find the winning formula, press it and keep winning. The last dance almost didn't happen because general manager Jerry Krause wanted to go into a rebuilding year, trading the veterans and letting Phil Jackson go. Jordan countered, the Cubs have been rebuilding for 42 years. He insisted he would only play for Jackson, forcing ownership to keep him for another year. This team stayed together, squeezed out an extra ring. In fact, a lot of players know that, if they were together, they'd have even sealed the 7th championship the next year. My point here is, you should never, ever trade your winners. I've seen a lot of great traders, myself, get a great stock, get out at a 50% gain, only to see it triple in about 2 years. A perfect example, I'll tell you, I was buying Pintuoto just last year, 2019. Everybody knew this, everyone in the inner circle. I was saying, hey, Pintuoto is doing so well. This is an e-commerce company. Get in at 19 and 20. At 30 to 32, I sold. But I wanted to get in at 35. Now it's about, I eventually entered at about 45. Now it's about 69. Yeah. My point here is, just even Tencent, my God, I had Tencent like 50, even less than 50 Hong Kong dollar. And of course, now you all know it's about 400 Hong Kong dollars. The point here is that when you have a winner, the best thing that you could do is stick to that team as long as you can. If Phil Jackson is performing well, why do you want to trade your veterans, your coach? Why do you need to rebuild the team? Your portfolio is doing so well, it wins. Just to tell you, NVIDIA, we chose that like 170, even just last September. Now it's about 350. And there's no reason for NVIDIA to fail. Fundamentally great, data centers and cloud and gaming, you see those growth. You see the technicals and fundamentals, which we teach you daily in and out here in our classes. So why do you want to break up that team? Why do you want to why do you not keep your winners? You know that winners will win, so keep winners. You know, we can talk a lot about all these things, but you know, I learned a lot. I would like to share more, but I think my time is up. I'd like to share a lot in our inner circle, in our Awesome 10x. You know, I'm gonna close this topic with going to awesome10x.com. I like for you guys to, you know, click our YouTube channel. Also go to our classes. We have courses wherein I teach you a lot. Like I teach you my wins, my losses, how I crawl. You don't crawl it with one game-winning shot. Michael Jordan never won his 6 rings, 6 championships with one game. Consider how much practice time. So that's how many trades you gotta make or how many correct risks. It's a process, you know. You don't put all of your money if it's 100,000, 200,000 in just one name and completely forget about it. That's not how you win. That's not how you win championships. You know, we can go a lot. I mean, I want you guys to look at all our videos. I do this daily, Monday to Friday. We teach, we give everything like classes, real-time advice, experience. And of course, it's not always paid. These are paid. Yes, this is about $2,000 or $40 per month. But there's also a lot of free articles and free videos that we give. You can go to the blog. You can go to our YouTube channel. My Twitter account is Faces Trader. We share a lot. I mean, I just want you guys to click subscribe and be part of this awesome 10x journey wherein we share our own experiences on how we can, you know, uncover 10x names. Sorry. So you know, just go to Awesome 10x, learn a lot, investment principles. In the end, Jordan, all of these great champions won because they had a great team. They had their own inner circle. And we want you to be part of our inner circle. Thank you, guys. I'll see you again. Bye.